Off and underway for the second half. Liverpool in their changed dark green kit, attacking from right to left as we look at things now. Arsenal shooting from left to right in their traditional white and red. They're so well known for their home colours. Little sprinting forward. Still Little. It was a good and important challenge in there that was needed by Holland just to disrupt things. And then cleared away by Zinsberger. Koivisto. Liverpool in possession. Didn't have a lot of the ball in that first half. Matt Beard had talked pre-match about them needing to be very precise in their passing. Haven't been as careful with the ball at their feet as they might have liked, albeit the game does always look so simple from what is a very chilly commentary box on the halfway line at Meadow Park tonight. All three looking for Ford. He was just about managed to keep it in, but was offside anyway. Sent forward. Now Koivisto looking for the overlap. Still it's played more directly into Stengel. Koivisto. Crossing chance from Stengel in the channel. Dealt with initially, now Kearns sets it back. Holland. Megan Campbell, who's just come on. One of what has been confirmed as a triple change. Jana Daniels, Gemma Bonner and Megan Campbell coming on. Carla Humphrey, Anna Silcock and Mary Taylor, the free to come off. Confirmation of those changes coming up on your screen now. Campbell will of course be quite a threat from the long throws. It does look to me like Liverpool might have switched to a back five, albeit it's possibly a touch too early to tell. Chance on the overlap for Ford. Still Ford. Just a slightly heavy touch. Gave Liverpool the chance to deal with the danger in the nick of time. And now we'll come back. Laws has taken a knock. And you'll see that break in play. Gives our camera person Craig a chance to clean the lens. Apologies for the picture not being quite picture perfect. It's very difficult conditions here at Meadow Park. Very chilly and with testing a bit of crosswind and rain around too. 5 minutes into the second half, Arsenal looking to continue on from their success in the Conti Cup at the weekend. Liverpool finally back in action after a 3.5-week break. It's a bit curious the way the fixture list has run for them, not necessarily in the nicest of ways. Matt Beard saying in the build-up to this one that the schedule has had a bit of an impact on the injury list as Jan Robe heads off. You can't not play for 2 months and then have 7 games in 3 weeks and international duty. It's a big workload for the players. And after this game, Liverpool have got another big game coming up at the weekend at home against Tottenham Hotspur. A key game with both of those sides looking to pull away from bottom club Leicester City. And then Liverpool have got the derby away at Everton on Friday the 24th. Tickets for the away end already on general sale, just short of 1,600 allocated for Liverpool fans. Very reasonably priced, £8 for adults, just £4 for under 18s and over 65s. Back underway, and Liverpool hoping that one goal can really change the feel and complexion of this one. As Little tries to wriggle away, and then eventually has to shove Hines and concede the free kick. So often so good at wriggling out of tight spaces like that, Kim Little. Raffaelli back to Zinsberger. Williamson. Back to Rafael Souza. He was very quickly settled into life at Arsenal after being signed last January. Arsenal had been trying to sign her for more than a calendar year before they eventually did manage to get her. Falti. Zinsberger patiently trying to set something going. Liverpool set in their player-to-player marking system that they tend to prefer. Some teams look to press a bit more zonally. Zinsberger's got to be careful. That's played across the face of goal. And Arsenal get the goal kick. But encouraging signs for Liverpool. There's Little battling forward against Holland. Zinsberger getting her chance tonight in what is a pretty congested Arsenal goalkeeping unit. Kayla Marquise signed in the summer, and then Sabrina D'Angelo picked up in January. D'Angelo playing in the Conti Cup quarter-final and semi-final wins, but it's out with a knee problem at the moment. Played by Zinsberger in the nick of time. Whipped forward by Williamson. And Blackstenius is fouled by Gemma Bonner in the classic centre-back versus centre-forward tug-of-war wrestling match that is so common. Falti. Now Blackstenius has managed to get it away to Pelova. Back to Blackstenius. Cross blocked, Arsenal corner. Their first of the second half. Nice interplay between Pelova and Blackstenius. Victoria Pelova still finding her place in this Arsenal setup. Quite an enigmatic, versatile player, good on the wing, as an attacking midfielder and also as a second striker or a false nine, the Dutch international. The bodies would suggest it heads to the 6-yard box. Instead it was headed away by Stengel. Chance for Liverpool on the break, Campbell. And they find Pelova, who in turn gave it back. Really good carry there from Jana Daniels. Liverpool brought back from the quickly taken free kick though. Really good slaloming skills from Daniels here with 3 Arsenal players in close assistance. Daniels, who was with Liverpool in the 2018-19 season, then had a spell at Bristol City before returning to Liverpool a couple of years ago, working with Matt Beard in Beard's time at Bristol City. As Cairns puts it in, away by Raffaelli. Now Hines, and into the box from Holland. He's helped down by Bonner. Only 2 Arsenal shirt. Pelova. Little inside. Good crossfield ball, picks out Ford. He has a goal tonight and is picked up from where she left off against Chelsea in the Conti Cup final. You always know your left wing has had a good game if the opposition changed their right back 3 times and a half, as Chelsea did in the first 45. McCabe. Caught late. Arsenal will get a free kick in a dangerous area. Law's just organising her wall. McCabe might fancy it from out here. Would seem more likely to be a cross though, given the angle. Could be an outswinger from Leonardson-Mornham, or an in-swinger from McCabe. Leonardson-Mornham to deliver. And Raffaelli was trying to scramble it in. Desperate defence from Liverpool was good enough. Daniels. Cleared by Campbell. Hines. Has Holland on the outside. Holland drifting forward. Slightly heavy touch and only then went down. Pelova. Nagano. He's set to be a couple of changes for Arsenal. Looks like coming pretty soon. Lotta Vubun-Moy and Katrina Kuhl both look like they're set to make an appearance soon. Away by Laws. Williamson. Stengel. He's not seen much of the ball in this game. Pass wasn't quite where Daniels wanted or needed it to be. Weren't quite on the same wavelength. Liverpool would have been hoping in this second half to get that link-up play going between Stengel and bringing others in. That's often been a case of Lawley and Daniels on either wing. Melissa Lawley not involved tonight, though. And of course, star signing Shanice van der Sanden has had a fair few injury problems through the campaign. Blackstenius. Intercepted before it got to Wienreuter. Now Stengel up against Williamson. Comes off Wienreuter. Here come those aforementioned changes. Leah Valti making way. And Leah Williamson making way for Lotte Wubben-Moy. Katrina Kuhl comes on, still finding her way in an Arsenal shirt, still settling into life here. Just her second WSL appearance. And her sixth across all competitions. Has already got a goal in the FA Cup too. So Liverpool with a triple change at half-time, and that somewhat reflected the flexibility of this post-COVID era where 5 subs has become the new norm, allowing you to make a change like that. Back when it was only 3 allowed, that would have left you at risk of a second-half injury, bringing you down to 10. Arsenal with 2 changes now, so 3 left in their back pocket. Stengel. And clipped forward. That's more promising for Liverpool. Kearns. His driven cross. It was a good one. The first time header dribbles wide. Some encouraging signs for Liverpool. They're still right in this contest, particularly if they can get one back. Make Arsenal and this home crowd a touch nervous. Liverpool, who have no shortage of history in the WSL. Winners way back in 2014 and 2015 under Matt Beard, who returned in 2021 to try and bring back the good times and got them out of the second tier, which was the first job. Here's Campbell. Dealt with by Wienreuter. Liverpool sliding towards the second tier after winning those back-to-back championships in 2013 and 2014. Finishes of 7th, 5th, 4th, and then 6th, 8th, and 12th finally, relegated in 2020. Nicely worked short from Campbell back to Hines. Hines' cross. Almost ran for Hines again. Instead, Kearns was looking for Campbell. Up against Wienreuter. Arsenal get the throw. Liverpool not coming back up to the WSL at the first time of asking. Finished 3rd a couple of seasons ago before being champions of the second tier last season. Leonardson Mornan powering away from defenders. How often have we seen that this season? Now McCabe. McCabe with something of a give and go to herself, and it's worked out brilliantly. Pelova. Cool. Pelova again. Wubben-Moy. Pelova. Arsenal will just want a 3rd goal to feel like they've all but sealed the 3 points up. completely shut the door on Liverpool. Sent long by Holland. Sinsberg can just get Arsenal going once more. Leonardson Mornham. Cool. Wienreuter. Ford. Stopped by Campbell, who's then fouled by Ford. And there's a little bit of afters as well. Megan Campbell and Caitlin Ford having a chat, shall we say. Well, here it is again. So a little bit of physicality from Campbell just to usher Ford off the ball, and then Ford made sure Campbell was going nowhere. And then afterwards, neither player was in a mood to back down about the exchange. Almost midway through this second half. And whilst Liverpool might hope to come back and rescue a point, it would be quite something if they were to go and win this one. They haven't beaten Arsenal in the last 9 WSL meetings, losing 8 of them and drawing 1. So here's Pelova. Pelova just trying to slide it through for Ford. Cross on the angle, blocked by Campbell. Holland. The clip forward has too much on it for Stengel. Moy was there to intercept, but then Kearns has got it back. Koivisto. And towards Daniels. No free kick. Referee not interested. Little. Raffaelli. Liverpool's last win against Arsenal coming way back in July 2016. Not far off 7 years ago when women's calendar was still on a summer season. Farrell Williams had Arsenal in front early on against her former club, Shanice van der Sanden, who was at Liverpool at the time and has since returned. Made it 1-1. And Caroline Weir, now of course of Real Madrid, scored the winner for Liverpool against Arsenal, who she'd previously been with. Katie McCabe and Lotte Wubben-Moy were on the bench for the Gunners that night. Gemma Bonner, who's come on for Liverpool in this second half, was a starter. Here's Pelova. Wienreuter. Blackstenius trying to turn away from Campbell, who recovered really well. That Liverpool team back in 2016 also had quite a few players who are still active in the WSL elsewhere now. Sophie Ingle of Chelsea, Katie Zeller, Manchester United skipper, Natasha Harding of Aston Villa, Kate Longhurst of West Ham, Laura Coombs of Manchester City, who's recently broken back into the England squad, as well as the aforementioned Caroline Weir of Real Madrid now. What can Arsenal do from the corner? Hunting a third goal. Haven't carried quite as much threat in this second half as in the first. In comes the corner. And headed wide. Changes coming. 2 more for Arsenal. Caitlin Ford makes way. Has got her goal and has continued on from the impressive performance she put in on Sunday. And Gio Kirosh, who was cup-tied for that game from her loan spell at Everton, so couldn't play, comes on now. And a straight swap at right back. Laura Wienreuter makes way for Noelle Maritz, who started on Sunday. Change coming for Liverpool. It is often how it can be these days. Sometimes one dugout responds to another's in terms of substitutions. Kerry Holland, the 21-year-old promising Welsh midfielder, who's chipped in with 3 goals this season, makes way for Sophia Lundgaard, who joined from Fortuna Curing a couple of months ago in the January window. Danish youth international and powerful box-to-box runner. So Liverpool have just 1 change left now, as do Arsenal. Both sides with 4 each thus far. Stengel. Good ball for Daniels, who goes down. He's hoping for a spot kick. Didn't seem to be a huge amount in it. So Vubenmoy coming back. McCabe turns with the interception. Hines round the corner, that's clever. Liverpool have been better in this second half than the first, no doubt. They've had more of an even balance of the game. Koivisto. Lundgaard. Lundgaard wins the corner. Essie Berkans heads across to take the corner. 1 goal here can change everything for Liverpool. Don't forget that FA Cup game against Chelsea where they lost 3-2, but gave Chelsea a mighty scare towards the end of it. Before that 2-0 win in the league against Reading and 1-0 loss to Leicester. Ball in cleared by Raffaelli. One by Hines. Round the corner from Daniels. Raffaelli with the foul on Koivisto. A little too much physicality for the liking of referee Heaslip. Free kick for Liverpool in a very dangerous area. No shortage of would-be takers. It's Megan Campbell there on her left. Taylor Hines as well. Could be the skipper on the night, Hines, or could be Campbell. Looks like it will be Megan Campbell. Can Liverpool get one back? And totally change the complexion of this one. Campbell, and it's a long way over. The ironic jeers from the home fans would have told you so if you'd have shut your eyes. Megan Campbell, one to watch though. It's very dangerous with her long throws, but is so much more than just a fantastic long throw set piece option. Campbell, who joined in 2021 from Manchester City after a couple of years at Florida State College, had an injury-hit time at Manchester City in 5 years there. Signed a new contract with Liverpool in the summer and was a big part of the Republic of Ireland squad that qualified for the Women's World Cup this summer for the first time. One of quite a few debutants at the competition: Haiti, Morocco, Panama, the Philippines, Portugal, Vietnam and Zambia, all also at the Women's World Cup for the first time this summer. That should be a lot of fun when we get there. Here's Kearns. Was hoping to win the corner, but ended up overrunning it. And it has often been that kind of night for Liverpool when they have managed to get into good opportunities in the final third. Haven't really turned them into situations where they've tested Zinsberger. Liverpool, who once upon a time won the title in 2013 to stop Arsenal, making it 10 straight top-flight titles. And then Liverpool won it again in 2014 on a mad final day where they'd started the day in third, but ended up getting above Chelsea and Birmingham City through the final day's events to make it back-to-back WSL league titles. Well, both teams felt like they'd won the throw. Referee Heaslett taking her time before giving it to Arsenal. Attendance might be a touch lower than it has often been here at Meadow Park this season, owing to the snow that's around, the extremely chilly conditions and all those factors that have made travel tonight very difficult. And it's still been pretty loud here at Meadow Park. It's something I've picked up from doing a few games here this season. There's been a concerted effort across Arsenal supporters groups to really increase the atmosphere, dedication to getting each player an individual chant that is sung. And it's a trend that's being seen right across teams in the WSL, and long may it continue. Liverpool helped on that front by having a sponsor who provides a coach from Anfield to every away game. Helps them to bring a significant away following even tonight in these difficult circumstances. McCabe taking her time. Bernardson Morn. McCabe again. Will be interesting to see in these closing stages. There'll come a point where Liverpool will have to throw a little bit more caution to the wind and risk to try and get one goal to keep them in the contest. For now, they've conceded a corner from Campbell. Liverpool hoping for one back to set a cat amongst the pigeons. But Arsenal here have the chance to get a third that would probably seal it. What can Arsenal do with the corner? And the header, straight at Laws from Lotte Wubben-Moy. Hunting what would have been the first goal this season across all competitions. It's always an asset from set pieces. Indeed, in the reverse fixture, they were often trying to work corners specifically to aim for Wubben-Moy. Wubben-Moy, who in another universe might have ended up playing for the Netherlands national team. Her father is Dutch, and she does actually fluently speak Dutch, which explains the origin of her surname. Little ball through. And Gio almost got there and instead ended up clattering into Laws. And both players haven't come out of this particularly well. Let's hope it's not quite as bad as it first looks. Gio cutting in off that right wing. I would be surprised if Gio didn't go in the book here, which will quite literally, to use a version of an old phrase, adding insult to injury, will not help the very obvious physical pain she's feeling, as is Laws. Gio, who had a loan spell at Everton earlier on in the campaign, didn't maybe get the amount of pitch time that they might have wanted her to get at Arsenal, but did have a persistent hip problem that made it difficult for Brian Sorensen, the Everton boss, to maybe use her as much as he might have wanted to. Well, you can see referee Heaslip has got the yellow card in her hand, so I'd expect that will be coming out to Gio once she's back up and hopefully on her feet. Laws down for Liverpool, who certainly don't need another injury. Also has been a lot of focus on Viviana Miedema and Beth Mead being out for Arsenal. Liverpool are one of a number of clubs who, certainly in terms of number of personnel out, have got a fair few more than the Gunners. Faye Kirby is the backup keeper for Liverpool, signed from Everton on deadline day. As Gio does, as expected, go in the book. Liverpool, of course, who in their goalkeeping department have recently loaned out Eartha Cummings to Merseyside rivals Everton. Finally ready to get back underway. All of that will be added on into a hefty lump of stoppage time, you'd imagine. Back underway then. And even though there's only 8 minutes or so on the clock, there'll be a fair bit of stoppages too. Campbell steps past Cool. And the ball across is cut out. Great chance for 3-0 and over the bar from Gio. Well, that really would have put this game to bed for Arsenal. Laws came out to try and narrow the angle, and Gio could only sky it over. Arsenal making a change that reflects the scoreline and where the game is. Stina Blackstenius coming off, having got her goal earlier on, 12th in all competitions this season, Arsenal's top scorer. And on comes Jen Beattie, a similar role to Conti Cup final at the weekend, with the task of helping Arsenal see the game out, and few better that they could want to call upon in doing so. For Scott, who will use all of her experience at the back. So many trophies, of course, across her 2 spells with Arsenal. Conti Cup final being her 8th, as well as 5 trophies between spells at Montpellier and Manchester City. Here come Liverpool. Was looking for Koivisto, but cut out by Raffaelli. And Beattie's first touch is to get it away to Gio. McCabe making sure there was no route through. Now Gio, such a threat in situations like this. In particular, Pelova. Leonard Simornum has Cool in the box. It's Leonard Simornum. Not for the first time tonight. Doesn't need a second invite to shoot. He's been in the goals this season. Had a spell earlier on in the year of not scoring for Arsenal in 25 games, but more recently has certainly not been short of a goal. Laws. Nagano. Nagano, who is going to be a really significant asset, you feel, for Liverpool in the second half of this season. They're trying to help them pull away from any fears of relegation. Had they won that game against Leicester City 3.5 weeks ago, they would have been 11 points clear of the Foxes. But defeat instead left the gap at 5. Work still to be done. Robe. McCabe. Fighting for it and winning it against Koivisto. McCabe's ball in. No, it's only Campbell back there. Vubben-Moy. Rafaeli. Beattie. Jen Beattie, who recently, as part of LGBT History Month, teamed up with Wonder Kid FC to share what it means to find an inclusive community through football. Beattie's saying you should be so proud of yourself representing a community like this. It's amazing and unbelievable. Great to see such open visibility, and as a member of that LGBTQ+ community myself, here's to women's football being such a welcoming and inclusive space. Jen Beattie certainly doing her bit on that note. Cairns. Koivisto. Up against McCabe and all of the Irish fullback's physicality. Hoping us to win it back. And then Little draws the foul from Stengel. And the minutes starting to really tick away for Liverpool now. So they desperately look to get one back to give Arsenal a scare. Worth mentioning, particularly on International Women's Day, that Liverpool certainly have their own bit of history. It was a Liverpool player who became the first player on the women's side of sport rather than the men's to play at both Lords and Wembley. Claire Taylor in 1993 playing for Liverpool in the Premier League Cup final against Arsenal, and then playing for the England women's cricket team in a World Cup final at Lords, known as the home of cricket, opening the bowling and taking 2 for 27 off 12 overs as the England women won against New Zealand by 67 runs. And on this International Women's Day, certainly appropriate to remember a figure like that. And of course, in the modern day, so much changing so fast and so much more to do, of course. Arsenal were appealing that it flicked off the hand of Cairns. BT was there to take it forward anyway. Leonardson Mornham. Slid through for Gio. Gio's little ball back. Leonardson Mornham, almost an own goal. Coming off the foot of Campbell, who will be mightily relieved to see it go just over the post. A little bit lower, and that would have been inadvertently flying into the top corner from Megan Campbell. That just goes over the post and bar at that far side. And Arsenal will look for a third from the set piece. Last time they aimed for Lotte Vubben-Moy. I've still got Rafaeli on, who's always a threat in situations like this. And it was towards Vubben-Moy. Cleared away by Campbell back there. Lotte Vubben-Moy, who is such a threat from situations like that. Rafaeli. McCabe. And then gets sived down. And McCabe in there to make it clear she wasn't happy from the challenge. Well, happy about the challenge from Sophia Lundgaard. McCabe wriggling away from Lundgaard, who then frustratingly chopped away at the Irish midfielder's legs, and will get a booking for it. Can't really complain about that. for Bunmoy. Little. Intercepted by Hines. He now tries to start something. Stengel has got away from Beattie. And will get the free kick. Five minutes of added time at the end of this one. If Liverpool can score here, then suddenly it will look like a very nervous clock that will feel like it's going a lot slower for Arsenal fans. Missy Kearns to deliver. Kearns is driven cross, headed half away, and then Pullover and Kuhl got in each other's way somewhat. Koivisto with a shot, and then scooped goalwards and harmlessly over. Arsenal moving closer to what would be a very satisfying 3 points. Arsenal legend Ian Wright on the Counter Press podcast, just after his Any Given Sunday team talk, saying not today Chelsea had potentially helped inspire Arsenal to victory on Sunday. Was moving on from assessing that win in the final, saying that in the first half the level Arsenal reached was comparable to the Lyon game. We're doing that more often but not often enough. To win trophies and leagues you need to be there at that level more often than not, and that's what we need to improve. Words of Ian Wright. Arsenal tonight, as things stand, have had more than enough to get the 3 points. Liverpool have only really had one shot on target. Missy Kearns against Zinsberger in the first half. Leonardson Mornham. Still going, trying to get away from Lundgaard, who's already on a yellow and has done. Leonardson Mornham sets it wide for McCabe. McCabe's pull back. Pullover. Little. Arsenal zipping it around confidently. It's funny the difference a couple of games can make in football. For Bunmoy. Cool. Little. Beattie. Raffaelli. Leonardson Mornham. Now McCabe. McCabe's little dink. Was looking for Kuhl. He's yet to score in the WSL for Arsenal. McCabe. Gio. Little ball in, flick towards Laws. And Liverpool have now got 2 minutes or so to score 2 goals. And moving towards the territory of real miracles here. Back to Zinsberger. Next up for Arsenal, Reading in 4 days' time at home. And then Bayern Munich away 9 days later in the Champions League first leg. North London derby against Tottenham, away from home on the 25th of March. And then 4 days later, Bayern at home in the second leg. Robe with the challenge on McCabe. It's a busy March fixture list for the Gunners, and doesn't get any smaller, the games in April. On the 2nd of April, they've got Manchester City at home, and then after the international break on the 23rd, Manchester United away, and then Everton away to round off the month. And just to make things even juicier, they play Chelsea away in the penultimate game of the WSL season in May. All that to come. And then a Jordan Nobbs reunion here at Meadow Park to finish the season off on the 28th of May. Bunmoy forward, now Kuhl, breaking between the lines nicely. Advantage Arsenal. Leonardson Mornham. Pass intercepted by Koivisto. Leonardson Mornham. Still going. Stopped at the expense of a corner by Leanne Robe. Arsenal set to add a 5th home win this season to go with a draw and a defeat. Of course, lost 3-2 against Manchester United at the Emirates. For Liverpool, their winless run will continue. Winless away in the WSL this season. It will be a 4th loss to go with a couple of draws. Last one away in the WSL, way back on January 2020, before COVID, when they were then relegated that campaign. Flicked on by Hines. Job done for Arsenal. No sense of after the Lord Mayor's show following that 3-1 Conti Cup final win on Sunday against Chelsea. The owner side of Al Said make no mistake 3 days later here against Liverpool, who remain winless in the WSL this season. Arsenal moved 2 points off Chelsea in 3rd, having played a game more, but also critically, they are now 3 points off Manchester City, who are 2nd, and Arsenal have got a game in hand on them with superior goal difference. First half goals from Stina Blackstenius and Caitlin Ford, just 5 minutes apart, did the job for the Gunners. You have a game this weekend at home against Reading to look forward to on Sunday. Liverpool will try and bounce back in a key match at the bottom at home against Tottenham Hotspur on the same day. But for now, here at Meadow Park, it's finished Arsenal 2, Liverpool 0.